And this is the good part of the story. Here comes hope. Remember, he's running through the graveyard. He's crying out. He's cutting himself with stones. He's got those demons. And when he saw Jesus from afar, that's the way it was for me in prison when that gospel preacher came in with the gospel teaching and I'm studying with him. Here comes hope. Those of you that go into the jail and to the prison, that's what you're doing. You're bringing Jesus in. He was there physically when that Word became flesh and dwelt in among that generation. But we represent Jesus. Elders, when you're visiting the sick in the hospital and they're in despair. Preachers, ministers. Here comes hope. And I'm so thankful it came into my life in that dismal, dark prison to open up the Bible and that light to enter my heart. Remember, I said earlier, all I knew was the baby Jesus from the Christmas story. But I was able finally to hear the rest of the story about this Jesus. For God so loved, not just loved, God so loved the world. And I always knew God loved the world. I heard of that verse. But I didn't think God loved Ronnie Crocker. I didn't think God had time for Ronnie Crocker. And there are millions living like that right in our great country that only know the baby Jesus. And when I heard he died, yet when you were still sinners, he died for you. The Romans 5 passage. He demonstrated his love for you. And I started reading those passages. Here comes hope. Even in that prison, the despair was washed away. And I began to see a light. Just like this man. Remember, he was demon-possessed when they saw him after Jesus healed him. After he had an encounter with Christ, he was in his right mind. And that's what happened to me. I was in my wrong mind on the drugs. But Jesus changed my life. And then he was told to go home. Tell others. He wanted to go with Jesus. I don't blame him. Jesus said, no, go on home. Tell him what compassion I've had on you. And that's really what I'm doing now when I have the opportunity to give a talk like this on how God is a God of great compassion. Are you here? Maybe there's one here that saw the pictures wherever they were given out. Maybe there's one here and you're in that despair and darkness and think that there's no hope. There is. There is, and I know you can find it in this place because I've met several of the brethren and the leadership. There's help for you right here.